Hello everybody, it's Facebook Live time and I am very excited to be back. I did skip a week for Christmas and I'm glad I did because it was really busy. There's no way I would have been able to do a Facebook Live with my family here, and my mom was visiting. My brother had brought her down here and she's needs a little extra care since she's been in her assisted living facility. So it was nice to have her here, even though it was a little bit of extra work. So yay. So I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday, a wonderful Christmas, a very happy new year. Say hello if you're watching. I see Mary Ellen, Kathy, Charlene. Hi guys. Thanks for joining me. I have some fun things to show you today because it is, oh my gosh, I forgot my catalogs. It is Celebration Now. Celebration started today, which is very exciting because that means for every $50 or $100 order you place in my store, you can get free items. So I will show you some of those items when we flip the camera over. Hello, Brenda. How are you? Happy New Year to you too, Kathy. When I flip the camera down, I'll show you the items that you can earn for free. There are 2 that you can earn for a $100 purchase, and then there are 11 that you can earn for a $50 purchase. If you're wondering what in the world you're going to buy to get that free stuff, well, our occasions catalog, yay, also went live today, and there are so many fun, amazing things in here, you guys. I've been placing orders throughout the last couple months because as demonstrators, we were able to do that. But I was doing product shares. And so I got those all filled up and everything. And I did place that order this morning at like 4:30 in the morning. So I'm hoping it will ship quickly so I can get all those product shares out to everyone that ordered from me. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it very much. Oh, Mary Ellen, you're funny. I hope it's nothing terrible is happening. Yeah. So I wanted to get some housekeeping things out of the way, you know, some winners from the past couple of weeks, what I'm going to be giving away this next week, that kind of thing. So, I did in my last Facebook Live 2 weeks ago, this was my free gift that I was going to do a drawing for everyone that placed orders with me over the past 2 weeks. And so the people that have placed orders with me, I put your name in a drawing, and the name I drew out was Donna Bowers. So congratulations, Donna. I'll be mailing this off to you. Of course, you don't need to send me your mailing address because you ordered from me, so I have your address. So be looking for that, Donna. Thank you so much for your order. I appreciate that very much. And everyone else who ordered. So for this next week, I'm going to be giving away a package of striped treat bags. So everybody who orders from me between now and next Thursday at noon, let's say, I'll put you in a drawing for the striped treat bags. I have my little sticky note already ready to put someone's name on it, and then I will mail these out. So in addition to that, like I said, all your $50 orders, you'll get a free item from Celebration. And for me personally, anybody who orders anything from me at any time during the month, I have an email tutorial that I send out. And this month's tutorial is for the Meant to Be bundle, which is in the Occasions catalog. It's right in the front on pages 4 and 5. Oh, I guess it's called All My Love. I lied. So the 10 projects that I have for you using this suite will all include, all the projects use these items, which leads me into my next online class, which will be released next Friday, which I think is January 11th. That'll be using the All My Love suite, which includes the Forever Lovely stamp set and die set, and the Meant to Be stamps and dies. And that'll be a online class only. You can get it free if you purchase my special bundle of products, which I'll be posting to my blog soon. I don't know exactly when, but it'll be soon. So I do have a new online class coming out. I still have all my old online classes. You can check all those out at barbstamps.com. Okay, so the last time I was live, 2 weeks ago, I made these 3 items. Well, I made these 2 items, and then I made an item that looked like this, but was a gift for my sister-in-law. So this is the second one that I made. So hello, Sandra. Hello, Sue. I think I'm missing some people, but thank you guys for joining me. So these 3 items are the items that I made 2 weeks ago. And so I did do a drawing from everyone who shared the video. So do share the video, because then I put you in my drawing for the items that I make. And Norma, I can't even read my own handwriting. Norma Johnson was the winner of these items. So Norma, I do need you to contact me. I need you to Facebook message me and let me know what your mailing address is so I can get these items out to you. So thank you for sharing, Norma. Thank you everybody for sharing. I appreciate that very much. That really helps get the word out about my Facebook Lives, and I do appreciate that. Oh, I forgot to mention, along with the free tutorial that I give every month for anyone who orders anything from me, if your order is over $65, 65 or over, and you use my host code, then I will give you a free package of the Heart Epoxy Droplets. And these are cool. They're clear, as you can probably tell. They're clear. And you can color them with our Stampin' Blends markers. So here is a card that I got in a swap where, I'm not sure who made this. The gal used the lovely lipstick Stampin' Blend to color that. And then I have a couple where the Flirty Flamingo blends were used on the little hearts. You can kind of see these little hearts here, and they are colored. So you can color those whatever color you want using our Stampin' Blends, or you can use them clear, whatever you prefer. So that's my free gift for January with orders using my host code. So that's exciting. Also, I wanted to talk to you guys about during celebration. It's the best time in the world to join Stampin' Up! If you guys have a wish list of products from this new catalog, you need to sign up as a demonstrator, because for $99, you pay $99 plus tax, you get $175 worth of merchandise. So it's kind of a no-brainer. Why wouldn't you sign up to be a demonstrator? And I do have a Facebook page that I have all my team on. We do have a little bit of fun. We collaborate with some other teams, and it's really fun. And also, you can also pay an extra $30. So you'd pay $129, and you can get this fabulous craft tote that you can carry your craft supplies around with you in. So right now is the absolute best time to sign up to be a demonstrator. You can get more information on my blog at barbstamps.com, and up at the top you'll see something about join my team. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm happy to answer them all. And I would like to welcome Vicki K to my team. She joined us today. So congratulations, Vicki, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm excited about that. So yeah. So celebration's the best time. Also, if you're a hostess, you host a party or place your own order of $250 or more, you get an extra $25 of free merchandise of host rewards. So, I mean, this is the best time of the year. For 3 months, you get free products with every $50 or $100 order. You can join Stampin' Up! For $99 and get $175 worth of stuff in your kit. And you choose what you want in your kit. They don't give it to you. You choose whatever you want for that $175. And of course, if you're a host or you place a large order, you get an extra $25. So this really is the best time to become a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. So, and I would love to join you or have you join me on my team. And we have an event coming up in April, an onstage event, and I'm going to Minneapolis for that. So if any of you sign up with me and want to hang out with me in Minneapolis, let's go. Okay. I think that is all the stuff that I have for the face-to-face, blah, blah. Oh, actually, no. I wanted to show you guys some cards that I received over the holidays. So this first one comes from my one of my team members. This is Barbara Pike, and Barbara created this card, and she sent it to me for Christmas. So thank you so much, Barbara. It's very pretty, and I love glitter. And then I have another card here from one of my customers, Lisa, who sends me cards frequently, and she's a wonderful stamper. So thank you so much, Lisa, for that card. I have a card from another team member of mine, Charlene. I think Charlene's on here. So thank you so much for this card, Charlene. I love it. It's very cute. And I love the Merry Christmas dies. And those are still available, you guys. And then another one of my downline, Kathy, sent me a card made with last month's paper pumpkin. And this is going to be backwards because my camera's on selfie mode. But look what she sent me. Look at that. Isn't that adorable? It's a little coaster with my logo on it. And it has a cork background on it. So, hello, Bridget. Hello, Kelly. How are you guys? So, thank you so much, Kathy. I appreciate that very much. And then one of the last cards I got was on Christmas morning from my daughter. She had raided my stash, so she did not make this, and neither did I. It was a swap that I had received. And she wrote me a very heartfelt note, which almost made me want to cry. Makes me want to cry right now. And then she put on the inside of the card a little punch card that she created that says, "Make me do whatever, no whining." And it has 5 little punches. Oop, there goes my camera. Let's wait till it focuses back. Get that. It's got these 5 little punches down here. So she is going to do 5 things for me, anything I want, with no whining. Get that? No whining. She's 17 and a half years old, and sometimes does whine a little when I ask her to do things. So I'm very excited to start punching my card here. So that's pretty fun. Okay, so I think we're going to go ahead and flip the camera around, and then I'll show you guys some of the things you can get free from Celebration. And I've got some paper pumpkin alternative cards that I made, and then we'll start stamping. So here we go. Smooth transition. I like that. Let me get my glasses. And you guys may have noticed hanging over my neck were these really fancy reading glasses. I did break down and buy myself a Christmas gift of this little pearl beaded lanyard. Yay. So I can have my reading glasses with me all the time. I'm so excited about that. Okay. So here's our Celebration brochure. Those of you that are customers of mine that placed orders with me over the last 6 months, you should have received those in the mail. If you did not, please contact me and let me know. I'll see what I can do. Otherwise, if you'd like to get a set of these catalogs, just place an order in my store at shoppingwithbarb.com, and I'm happy to send those out to you. Here's my January host code for the month. So anytime you place an order that's less than $150, please use my host code. That gets you the free goodies that I'm offering. And if your order is over $50, like I said, here's what you can choose from. So here's our Celebration brochure. I can finally open it up and show you because the catalog is live. Here is that amazing craft tote. It's actually quite large. I got to see it at On Stage, and it is quite large. It's exclusive to new demonstrators. So if anybody wants to join my team, like I said before, it's $99 plus tax. You get $175 worth of merchandise, and you can add this tote for another $30 if you desire. So to start out with, we've got this really cute Hello Cupcake set. I'm actually going to be using that one today on one of the cards that I'm going to make for you guys. Our Organdy Ribbon Combo Pack, we're going to be using some of this in the Highland Heather. This is another option. I think each of these rolls is 5 yards too, so you get quite a bit of ribbon. These little wooden butterfly elements, ugh, that was a mouthful. I don't actually have mine yet, but they are on the way, and they should be arriving. Well, my UPS isn't here yet, so imagine that. It's really late, but there's no UPS. And then our Designer Series paper, I'm going to get that out for you and show it to you in IRL, in real life, if you talk teenage talk. These are the different patterns of the paper. So they're all double-sided, and you can tell that one side of all the pieces is black and white, which is very cool. You can leave them black and white. You can use one of our sponge rollers and roll color over it. You can use our Stampin' Blends and color them in if you like. It's just you can do whatever you want with them. Then the other patterns are actually nice, pretty color patterns. One of the new offerings in this catalog, in our occasions catalog here, is this butterfly duet punch. So it does punch out a couple of butterflies. We're going to use this on a project today, but I wanted to show you something really cool. This paper in the free butterfly, I forgot what it was called already. Botanical butterfly. The punch will punch out these butterflies. So if I like cut a little bit off here and I slid my punch in, it will punch out any of these butterflies. So you can use your punch to crop any of these. Check that out. Is that not the coolest thing or what? So, and I also think, as I was just looking at this paper here, this black and white, let me find it, because I think that might also, you might be able to punch it out. Oh, goodness, sorry about that. That was really loud. Yes, it looks as though this paper is the same, except this is black and white and this is already colored. So, yes, you can punch butterflies out of this black and white paper too with this punch. So that is super cool. So this paper is one of the free items that you can choose with your $50 order. So keep that in mind because it's gorgeous. All right, put my punch back in my project bucket so I don't lose it. All right, what else do we have in here? We have this really pretty By the Bay set. We have the Home to Roost, which I just got done making a swap card. Scoot over here and grab it with this. So I did stamp the rooster on craft with black, and then I used my Stampin' Blends just to kind of add some blue and green in all of his feathers. So I thought that was kind of fun. All right. Oh my gosh, you guys, these foil sheets are absolutely amazing. I'm going to pull them out and show them to you. I've showed them before, but they are so amazing that they are worth showing again. Here is the lovely lipstick, and you can see the glare from my light above, but look how pretty that is. Oh my gosh. And you are really going to freak out when you see this Grapefruit Bro. This color is so, it's like psychedelic. I feel like I'm back when I was a young child in the 1970s or something like that. Look at that. Even with the glare off my light, you can totally see how flippin' cool that is. So that is another option. There are 4 of each color in the package, so you get a total of 8 sheets. That is also a $50 freebie. Then this So Happy Together, and I wanted to tell you guys something. I just uploaded a video to YouTube today using this. What did I do with it? I want to show you my card because you can head to YouTube after we're done if you want and check it out. It's for a pull-up slider card. Look at that. And it uses that amazing little frog, some of the sentiments on one of the stamp sets in the Occasions catalog, and how fun is that? And so it's a trick that I came up with using our rectangle framelits, our new stitched rectangle framelits. You can see that I just used my stitched rectangle here, and I created this card. So you can check that out on my YouTube channel, which is over on YouTube, obviously. If you just type in the search line Barb Stamps, my channel will come up and you can see my video on how to make this card. So that is cool, and those little frogs are adorable. Okay, moving on. What else do we have? Would I color by the Bay? Trudy wants to know. You know, you wouldn't have to, Trudy. You could simply like just heat emboss it. You could stamp it on crumb cake. You could stamp it, heat emboss it on white on black. You could color maybe just a few things, like maybe just a little bit of the foliage, maybe just the roof, you know, maybe just a little bit of the water. So I don't think you have to color it. I think it would look amazing if you did color it, like this little sample right here where it is colored. I think that's gorgeous. Some of us don't have the coloring prowess that others possess. Talking about myself, I don't have it. But if you do, then you should definitely color it in, because I think it would be amazing. All right, here's a fun little sentiment set here that could be worked with scrapbooking, really fun. This gorgeous flower pattern here called Lovely Lattice. And this cute little card kit, which I will be getting today when my UPS arrives. And then the next 2 things are the $100 items. So the Tea Time Framelits dies is one of the items that you can get for free. And it coordinates with the Tea Together stamp set that you can buy out of the Occasions catalog. And then you can die cut a lot of the images with the die set here. So that's one of the free items for a $100 order. And then the last one is the Lasting Lily, which is amazing. And I will also be getting that. Actually, that'll be next week. I'll be getting that. I couldn't order everything at once. I wanted to, but I just couldn't. So anyway, those are the free items you can get. Now here's the Occasions catalog. If you haven't seen it, you can look at it online through my blog at barbstamps.com. There are so many fun things in here, you guys. I could never go through all of them in this Facebook Live, but just trust me that there's amazing things. And like I said, if you need a copy, just place an order in my store, and I'm happy to send them to you. Okay, let me get some of these things out of the way. All right, next up, I wanted to talk a little bit about Paper Pumpkin. This was our December Paper Pumpkin kit. Now, the kit itself was designed to make a gift of a calendar, and I actually haven't made my calendar yet because I wanted to get my alternate projects made first. But the directions show there's this cute little calendar. You've got all the pages in here, the stamps and everything to create this fun calendar. But I always offer my customers alternate ideas. And so I decided to, the alternate ideas that I was going to share this month, we're just going to be using the stamp set, which was this cute little thing here. It's just kind of like a bunch of random shapes, and they just screamed flowers to me. So that's what I did with them. I just created flowers with my shapes as my alternate cards. So I wanted to share those with you guys too. Paper Pumpkin is a really fun monthly kit that comes every month. You can skip months if you want. You can cancel anytime. If you have any questions about it, let me know. I would be happy to help you with that. Okay. I think we've talked about everything. We've given away the gifts. We've talked about all the blah, blah, blah. So now let's do some stamping, shall we? Okay, so I wanted to start out these little note cards and matching envelopes. They may have slipped by you in the holiday catalog. They were an offering in the holiday catalog, and then now that the holiday catalog is no longer, this is one of the items that has carried over, the silver and the gold. So I thought it would be fun to make a card using the card that's already done with the envelope, and then creating a front for it. So, and here's my package. How many do you get in here? Let's say you get 20. Yes, 20 cards and 20 envelopes in the package, and I think it's $9 if I remember correctly. So the cards just come, you can see they have the nice foil accent around the edge, coordinating envelopes, make a super fun gift. So here is a piece of powder pink, and like I mentioned earlier, we are going to be using the Hello Cupcake stamp set. This is one of the free items that you can get with your $50 orders through Celebration. Oops, there's some glare there. That's always annoying. And so we're going to use that. So I've got a bunch of the stamps already mounted here. Got my ink pads. Okay. I've also got a little mask in here that I'm going to use. It's a little bit of a cheater way, but you guys are always up for tips, I'm assuming. So we're going to go ahead and do that. All right. So this is our card base. This is an 8.5 by 5.5 card, folded in half. Already has the silver detail on it. So this is one of our layers. This is a 4 by 5.25 inch piece of powder pink. Then I used my stitched rectangles that we talked about a little earlier when I showed you my fun pull-up slider card. I also have another card here that uses these stitched rectangles. I have numbered and lettered all mine. There's a bunch of different shapes of rectangles in here. And as you can see, lots of different sizes. So I keep the really large ones. Hello, Teresa. Hello, Sandra. Thank you guys for sharing and showing up. So there are 3 large ones, and you can see these are 6, 7, and 8. And then I have number 5, number 4, number 3, and number 2 and number 1. Now, number 2 and number 1, you can see that I have nested together. And that is how I created this card here. You can see it's got some dimension to it. So I cut a piece of cardstock, I stamped it, I colored it, I ran it through the Big Shot with these nested framelits, and then I was able to create a fun little dimension card using this together. So I just left this together. I haven't needed to use it individually yet, so in case I decide I want to make some more of these cards, I'm just going to leave this taped together with just some washi tape. So these are all numbered 1 through 8 because they are like a certain style of rectangle, and then these are a little bit skinnier and longer, and so these are A, B, C, D, and then this little guy's all by himself. So there you go. So I always letter them, or mostly I number them, but because there was 2 different shapes, I decided to letter them also. So we are going to use, which one is it? Number 5? No, 4. I think it's number 4. So 4th one from the middle is what I used to die cut this piece of white right here. So that ends up measuring, I wrote it down here so I don't forget, 2 3/16 by 3 9/16. So I will put the measurements on my blog when I share these projects in the next few days. So then I also cut a piece of lovely lipstick to be a backing piece for that. And so I cut that to 2 3/8 by 3 3/4. So I just added 3/16 to each measurement. Can't talk. And that's how I came up with that. So these are going to layer together, and then they're going to go on the front of the card here. So I'm going to do a little bit of stamping with my confetti there. So I've got some powder pink ink here, and here's my little pieces of confetti. And so I'm just going to stamp a couple of those images on this corner, and then we will stamp a couple of those images in the bottom corner. So now we're not done with that yet. Okay, so then I also have like my rectangle piece like I talked about, and then I have one of the sentiments from the stamp set, and this one says celebrate your day. So I'm going to ink up that stamp in my Bermuda Bay, and actually I need one of my foam pads. And I got this tip from my friend Kelly. She just wraps scrap paper around this so that it's always white. Sometimes I want mine to be colored though, because I find that I can see better sometimes if the paper is colored. So we'll see how I do with this. Okay, so I'm going to stamp my sentiment down here at the bottom. There we go, in the Bermuda Bay. I think we're done with that now. Take that off because it's photopolymer, so I did want to kind of use my paper sheet here. Maybe I'll bring that back. Okay, so then I have the cupcake base. As you can see, it's got the cupcake base and a little bit of a shadow there. So we're going to ink that up in crumb cake. And I'm going to add that. Oh my, look at that. Well, it's on the back, so hopefully nobody will be able to tell. Ink up our cupcake base. And I'm just going to stamp that right above my sentiment. About like that. It's going to go off a tad bit, but I did want it to be in the center. So here comes my mask. So what I did was I stamped this on a piece of copy paper. And then I just cut it out, but I didn't cut out the whole thing. You can see I just cut out the sides and all the, what do you even call that? Well, zigzag, all the zigzags. So then what I can do is I can lay this on my stamped image on my card. And then I can ink up the top of my cupcake here, the frosting. Who doesn't love frosting, right? And then when I stamp this, like so, then it actually looks like it's on top of the cupcake paper. All right, so there's a little tip for you. I just leave these in my stamp case, so they're always in there if I ever need to do that again. All right, so then the final little thing we're going to do is we're going to add this little heart pick, and we're going to do that in Melon Mambo. So I'm just going to gently tap that. Maybe we'll add it right here. Oh, like that. Okay. So we have our little heart pick in there. We've got our cupcake. I've done all the stamping, so I think I can put all these pads away so that I don't get my hands in them and make a mess. Because you know, if you've ever watched me, you probably know sometimes I make a mess. Okay, so then this is going to layer onto this piece of lovely lipstick. And I'm going to just run, oh, my glue doesn't want to come out. Run a little bit of glue. Well, how many times am I going to say that and no glue is going to come out? Now there's a tiny bit coming out. It's coming out slow. It must be clogged. So I will get my needle out here in a second and clean that out. So I'm going to go ahead and get that pressed into place. Here's another tip for you. I've just got this piece of foam here and it's got some needles, sewing needles pressed into it. And when my glue gets clogged, I just push the glue down onto these needles. And then if there's a little clog in there, sometimes it'll get rid of it. So I just keep that on my stamp desk, and every so often I clean off the excess glue that gets on there. And yeah. Okay. So far this is what we have. It's cute, but I wanted to do something else. So I'm going to bring in some ribbon. This is from our annual catalog. This is the Bermuda Bay mini striped ribbon. So I am going to run a piece diagonally across here, about like so. And then I also have some of the ribbons that are from the what is it called? I just forgot. It's in the front of the Occasions catalog. Pull my piece of tape off there. All My Love, that's what it's called. So it's the All My Love ribbon pack. And you get the lovely lipstick stitched ribbon in this, along with the Fleur de Flamingo skinny 1/8 inch kind of, I don't know what they call that, organdy, I guess is what it is. All right, so I'm going to take a piece of this also, and I'm going to run this behind as well, and I'm going to cut a strip off, about like that. So I can take both of these pieces of ribbon and lay them behind my project. I might crisscross them. Let's see how that works out. If I crisscrossed them, would they be better? I don't know. Let's just see. Okay. So if I did crisscross them, something like that. Okay. So let's pick them up. And let's add a piece of tape to the back. I'm a big fan of tape. It's just super easy. It's easier than trying to use adhesive, I think. Okay, that'll work. Then I'm going to snip off that end of that just a little bit so it's a little nicer cut. This one as well. Okay, and then we're going to stick that on with dimensionals. Oops, just about knocked my snail on the floor. Thank you, Lisa. I hope you guys enjoy when I share tips. I try to share tips in every video that I make, whether it's a Facebook Live or one of my YouTube videos. I have been stamping for a long time, and I have come up with a lot of tips just to make my own life easier. And so I'm happy to share those with you guys. Okay, so let's get this on as straight and even as we can. I think that's straight and even. And then we're going to add some glue, or are we? Yep, that's coming out a lot better now. Okay. To our card front here. And then we're just going to end up with some of that silver peeking around the edge. And I just love that. I just love the look you get with that silver. It just looks so fun. Who wouldn't want to get this in the mail, you know, with all that silver showing? And of course our coordinating envelope, so that when it comes to you, it's got this fun envelope. Yay. But I also did want to add one more thing, maybe, because we have these cute little Gingham Gala self-adhesive sequins. So you can see that 25 of the sequins on each sheet are little flowers. Aren't those adorable? Then the other 25 are just the standard circle sequins. But I was wondering if maybe, that might be a bit overkill with that color. Any of these? Ooh, maybe this one. This is kind of an iridescent, kind of multicolored. I'm not sure if the camera's going to pick that up or not. I can't tell. But these might work. So I thought maybe I would just take a couple of these. Whoops, that didn't work. I painted my nails, and so they're too thick now. No, that's not true. Oh my. The struggle is real, apparently. I wonder if my take your pick tool would work better. Let's just see. I got a little putty out there. Oh my, yes it does. Yay. Okay, so we've got some iridescent sequins on there too, which I think are kind of fun. So that is our first card. Hopefully you enjoyed that. If you did, you can always give me a little red heart or a thumbs up, or I guess a mad face if you hated it. You know, just something to let me know if you liked it or not. Okay, so this is obviously one of the cards that next week somebody's going to win. So keep sharing the video. And I'm going to put this right here because I always seem to lose my cards when I'm making them, and then I try to show them at the end of the video, and then I can't find them anywhere. So we're going to try to keep our eyes on that. Let me clean my stamps real quick, because I've found that sometimes when I throw them back in my bucket, they get ink on things, and I don't like that. So I'm just using my chamois here. It's filthy. Well, I mean, it looks filthy. It's actually just stained, so not really dirty, just looks ugly. But it works great. I just rinsed it out, got it all ready for live here, so we're ready to go with that. Okay, put some of those things out of the way, and then if you guys have watched me for a while, you know I don't like stamping in a mess. Okay, next, we'll do this one. So this one's kind of a Valentine-y card. Should be kind of fun. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. So here are some of our cardstock pieces. This is a scrap. It doesn't really use a tree. This is just a scrap that I have from some projects that I did over Christmas, and I had some extra trees. So we are going to use these are a couple of the stamp sets that are part of the All My Love suite, which is in the first couple pages of the Occasions catalog. So there's 2 stamp sets and 2 die sets that make up this suite of products. So we have the Forever Lovely stamp set with the Lovely Flowers edgelets. And then we have the Meant to Be stamp set with the Be Mine stitched framelits dies. So this is one of our heart sets, and I want to show you guys these because there are quite a few dies in here, and a lot of them are really fun. So it's a lot of different styles of hearts. So you can see we have kind of the wide hearts. We've got this large scallop. You've got a die that will crop out the middle of that scallop that's actually stitched. The heart is stitched, so cool. A little tiny heart that's actually stitched and scalloped. And then we have these two can go together, a smaller scalloped stitched heart, and then the inside stitch. And you can see that they're stitching on the inside of this skinny piece as well as the big piece. Then we have a little bow, this fun little flourish on the side, this pretty rose with some leaves. And those are kind of the fatter hearts, I'm going to call them. Then we also have some skinny hearts. So we have this one that can cut out the center of this one here. We've got that one, and then we've got this gorgeous detailed heart also. And then I do have a couple things on the inside because it also comes with this really cool, well, that's not a way to show it off. This is a die also, and it cuts out this open image. And then you also have all those little hearts that you can use on a project as well, which is really fun. And then this little guy here, it just kind of gives you an edge. It's like a little edge border kind of die. So that's pretty fun. So there's a lot of fun dies in here. And then oh, I forgot that's on this too. It comes with this edgelet that cuts this really cool scalloped edge that also puts a stitching line on there. So there are a lot of fun dies in this set. Wonderful for Valentine's Day and, you know, other holidays as well. And then the lovely flowers edgelets, they have some fun dies with them too. So we have coordinating stamps. We've got these two stamps here that you can stamp, and then you can die cut the edge. So you can kind of see how that is die cut on the edge. Here it is again, die cut. And then you can just lay these two things together. Make sure you get them right. So you've got the detailed part that can go on the solid parts, which is really fun. And then here again is the flower, so you can die cut it, you can stamp it, and you can have the stamping peek through the die cutting like that. So there are some fun dies in here. That's just the two. And then we have all these other pieces also. Some of them coordinate with stamps, some of them don't. So we're going to use that today. Hopefully you found that helpful for determining whether or not you like that and want to order it. All right. So out of this stamp set here, we're going to use this long die, this little flower, this group of hearts, and this little leaf along with the Happy Valentine's Day from this set here. Okay. Whoops, my cooking stamp set's still out. All right, so here's my little heart, group of hearts. Here's my Happy Valentine's Day. Here's my large flower, my leaf. And then this is a large image, but I'm only using this flower here. So I will be cutting that out with scissors. It doesn't have a coordinating die, but I'll get over that. So to create the hole in the front of my card, I used my number 5 layering circle. So these are all gone from smallest to largest, number 1 being the smallest, number 8 being the largest of the straight circles, and then on the back side I have all my scallops done the same way. Smallest is 1, largest is 7 or 8, I can't remember. I think it's 8. Yeah, there's 16, so there's 8 of each. So I just did number 5 right down there in the corner. So now I can fold this together and burnish it with my bone folder. Make sure that it's nice and straight. Okay. Put those back in my bucket. And then here is my inside layer. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that in right now. So my glue coming out. Barely. I must have a pretty good clog in there. Oh my gosh, I think my husband's home and he's yelling at me. Does he not know that I'm Facebook Live right now? Seriously. Okay. So we have that. And then I'm going to take a pencil and I'm going to go around this circle so I can get myself a light pencil line so I can stamp my greeting in here. All right. So if you do that, then you know where you can stamp it and it'll still show through the opening, which is pretty cool. All right. So I have my soft seafoam ink here and I'm going to use this little this little group of hearts. So I'm going to ink that up, but I do need a scratch paper because I do need to stamp that off one time because I don't want it to be super dark. So I'm going to ink that up. Oh, sorry. Here's my scratch paper. I've stamped it off. And then I'm just going to stamp that right there in the center. So it's super light, but you'll still be able to see it. Okay. Well, I'm going to set that up there. Then I have my lovely lipstick ink here. And I'm going to do my Happy Valentine's Day. So we're going to ink that up. And I think, first of all, I'm going to stamp it on this scratch paper down here at the bottom just to see if I actually have it straight on my block. Yeah. Okay. So I can do that so that when I close that up, My Happy Valentine's Day is going to show, and that's going to be fun. All right. So then we're going to go ahead. I'm going to let that ink dry, and then I'm going to erase the pencil lines. Okay. So I'm going to decorate around my circle now. I think I cut myself, so I'm going to grab a Band-Aid here. Hold on. Medical emergency going on. I'm not sure what in the world I did, but stamping is dangerous. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Okay. And normally I wouldn't care, but I don't want to get, you know, blood on any of my projects. So there we go. Crisis averted. All right. Moving on. So we've got this. We're going to decorate this. So I've got some, where's my scrap of white? I dumped all of my papers out. I thought I did anyway. Well, apparently I did not get a piece of white out. So let's go ahead and get a piece of white out. So I need a large flower, and I'm going to do that in the Flirty Flamingo. So I'm going to ink that up, and I need one of those. And then I'm just going to ink up the corner here, because I just need this flower. So I'm just kind of inking up the corner guy there. And then I'll just stamp that right there. And I need 2 of these. So we're going to do that again. Let's come in from this direction so that we don't get ink where we don't want it. About like that. Okay, so we've got those. I need some leaves out of soft sea foam. So we'll get a couple of leaves out of that. I think I'm done with this, and I think I'm done with my Flirty Flamingo. You can probably see my little cheater pieces there. I've already die cut them because I don't have my big shot over here where I do my videos. So, okay, so this large flower here does have a coordinating die, so I did get that cropped out already. These little flowers, we have to fussy cut. I've already fussy cut one. I'll do the other one on camera. And then here are my 2 leaves. And then I did do a couple more of these fun little images that are in the die set. So I've got a couple of these little sprigs out of soft sea foam, and then a couple of these little flowers out of the lovely lipstick. So let's see how quickly I can cut out a flower. I think I'm going to go with this one here. So I'm going to get that out of the center here. And I like to go around, but I do like to leave a little bit of white space when I'm cutting. And when I'm cutting, I'm moving my paper. I'm not really moving my scissors. I'm opening and closing my scissors, but I'm not really moving them. I'm moving the paper with my other hand to kind of guide me around the image here. I find that to be fairly helpful than trying to move my scissors all the time, rather than, like I said, just opening and closing them. So hopefully that's another little tip that will help you guys with your fussy cutting. I'm not a huge fan of fussy cutting, but, you know, sometimes you've just got to do it, right? Okay, so we've got our fussy cutting done, and we've got that done. And now on the front here, there's another stamp in this set. What did I do with it? Oh, maybe I didn't get it out. I don't think I did. I did not. It's this little tiny sprig here, and then these little hearts. So I'm going to get those out of here. Hello, Sherry. Okay, so I'm going to add my little sprig with that and my little hearts here. So I'm going to do a little bit of stamping around my circle, just a tiny bit, just for some interest when the card is closed. So I'm going to do that in lovely lipstick, I think. Okay, so I'm going to take this little sprig here, and I've got a piece of scrap paper underneath there so it doesn't get obviously on the inside of my card. And I think I'm just going to do a couple of little sprigs like that. Maybe a couple up here. And then maybe, we'll see how this looks. I don't know if I'm going to like it. Hopefully I do. Something like that. So that's just a tiny bit of stamping to the front. Okay, and I think this is probably ready that I could actually erase. And I have this eraser that I actually got at a book fair. When my kids were in elementary school, they always would send you like bunches of junky stuff, and we would have it up by the cash register. And one of the things they always used to send us was erasers. And this is supposed to be like a what is this, like a strawberry scented penguin eraser or something like that. Anyway, they all smell, and anyways, you probably could care less. That was just a little random thought I had. Book fairs. I used to love the book fair. I was always the chairperson, and I just had a grand old time doing that. Okay, so now I am going to arrange my little flowers here. I think maybe like so. And then this can go here. I think that one might go there. I really like these little sprig pieces. I just think they're so cute. And then these little red flowers. They're very subtle because they match the main card base here. So, all right. 1, 2, I don't know. Something like that. Okay. Well, let's just see what we can do here. We're going to add some glue. I need to get this thing unclogged. It's starting to... It's giving me the business, so you can see I screwed up on the back of that one. So I stamped it on the other side. No problem. Okay, so maybe about like so. Add a little glue to the back of the leaves, and we'll just tuck them underneath. There's 1. There's 2. Like so. And then this little guy, put him down here. The large one, I'm going to use a dimensional. Where did I put them? Right here. I put my dimensional to the edge, you can see, so that if it does overhang a little bit into the window, the dimensional is not going to be hanging over. So it'll just be that, just the card there, just the card stock. Okay, I think I'm going to tear that off because I don't need that whole thing on there. And I think I'm going to just tuck this one under there like that. This one I think I'm going to tear off also. So you can just make your own little scene with these things. Okay, that one. And then this little sprig. Not sure if I need that whole stem or not. We shall see. Okay. And maybe we'll just kind of go underneath that. And I don't know if I want this one or not. What do you guys think? 2? Maybe I don't need it quite as long. We'll just tear some of it off. Sometimes you just go random, right? Okay. So there's what we have so far. Our last thing is going to be to add a little bow. And if I can find it. There it is. This is that other ribbon that's in the All My Love package. Hello, Carol. Thank you, Angela. Angela says I'm funny. Yeah, sometimes I guess sometimes I can be. We're going to try to tie a bow. My Band-Aid finger is going to be a problem because I do normally use that finger to tie bows. But I've got 2 little loops is what I do. I cross them over each other, bring the loop through, and then I'm just going to tug at it until it's the size that I want. Okay. So you can just keep going until it's the size you want. So I just keep pulling on the tails, manipulating it. I'm going to set that right in the middle of that flower. So I think that's probably good. So I'll snip a little bit of that off there, snip that off there, grab myself a mini glue dot. And now this bow is a little smaller than the glue dot. So I'm going to fold this over with my fingernail, fold it over in half. And then stick it on the back there so that you can't see it. Holy cow, that really stuck to my nail. Oh, wouldn't you just know it? Stuck to my nail and then I got all confuzzled and anyway. Screwed it all up. Dang, that's like the stickiest glue dot I have ever touched in my life. What the heck? Normally, I don't have any issues pulling them off. I shouldn't be complaining. I want it to stick good, so... Okay, but it just kind of threw me for a loop there when it kept sticking on everything. So here's our fun Valentine's Day card, one of those little pop open, little funny thing inside. You could write your little message up there. So here is another one of the projects for this week. I'm going to stick that right over here so I can find it later. And let me clean this up, and then we will get the supplies for our final project. Hopefully you like it. It uses the Butterfly Gala bundle. Oops, I got ink all over that block. Apparently I was a little bit of a messy stamper today. Clean all these off. And then we will be in business here. Okay. Get that one. Oh, here's my scrap. This is what I was going to stamp some of those flowers on, was this tree here scrap. So we'll use that for something else. All right. I'm going to need my chamois. I might need my scratch paper. Oh, I found a couple more stamps I got to clean. That one and that one. Okay. Now I think we're done with that. So now I'm going to bring in art supplies for our next project, which is going to be, I'm excited because I just love, love, love this stamp set. I just think it's amazing. Geez, look at all this stuff I have to clean up. What a mess I make. Okay. Trash, we need to slide out of the way. Scissors, tools, everything over that way. All right. So we are going to use Highland Heather and Black on this card because I just think they're really pretty together. So there's our cardstock pieces. And you'll notice that I have a piece of gingham paper. This is from our Gingham Gala 6x6 Designer Series paper package. And I have no balmy blue left. I've used it all working on some swaps. So I have the Highland Heather, the Lemon Lime Twist, is it Calypso Coral or is it Grapefruit Grove? Grapefruit Grove, and the Daffodil Delight. And then there's also Balmy Blue that goes in here. So it's double-sided. So each piece has this small gingham and the large gingham. And for our project today, we are going to use the small gingham. Got a strip of black, I got some scraps of white, and my Highland Heather card base, which is 8.5 by 5.5. I'm just going to fold that in half and then burnish it with my bone folder so I get a nice crisp fold that way. Okay. Then I'm going to add some glue. Let's hope the glue works. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. A little bit of glue. There we go. Look at that, coming out good. Right on the edge of this Designer Series paper. And I'm going to get it on this piece of black. The piece of black doesn't really matter how big it is. You just want a little bit to show. So there's just some contrast there. Okay. My eyeball's playing tricks on me, or is that not even? They do play tricks on me. Okay. Snip that excess off. And then I'm going to add this to the front of the card on the left edge. A little more glue. With the gingham at the edge of the cardstock. Pull that down a little bit. Okay. Is there any excess? Maybe just a tiny bit right down here. Okay. All right, so then that's going to go on the front of our card, and I think I can go ahead and do that right now. Whoops. That did not work at all. There. Okay. Want it to be even. Can be a slight bit anal at times. All right. So we'll get that on the front. And then we're going to get into some stamping. All right, so this is the stamp set we're using, the Butterfly Gala, and then it has that coordinating punch that I showed you a little bit earlier. And so the stamps are pretty cool in that the small butterfly and the large butterfly are together on the same block, and when you stamp them, you can punch them out together, and you could use the small ones or the big ones, or however you want to do it. So I've got a scrap of white right here, and I've got my Memento and my Highland Heather here. So we are going to start out and bring in my foam mat here. And let's see, there are a few different designs of butterflies, as you can see. So I'm going to use this one here and then the small one on this design here. Okay, so I need to get all my butterflies out. Here's my main one. So I'm going to ink that up. Ooh, goodness, did you see that flying around? I'm surprised it didn't make a mess. Okay. So I'm going to stamp that right there. And then I just need the small butterfly on this one, but I'm going to go ahead and stamp the whole thing because I could always use another butterfly on some other project. I might have to do this kitty wampus. Well, actually, maybe I won't. Maybe I won't try to salvage this other butterfly. Well, maybe I can. Let's see. I think that'll work. Okay. So now it also comes with these butterfly bodies, these butterfly parts. So you can see in the stamp set here, you've got the little one here that you can stamp behind to make these colored, or you can do 2 different colors here. So I'm going to do what I think is kind of cool. I don't know, maybe someone else has done this, but I did this on some of my swap cards and I thought it was pretty cool. So I'm going to ink this up in Highland Heather, but I'm going to stamp off some of it. Which part do I want to stamp off? Let me look at my cheater card here. Can you even see what I'm doing? I'm going to scoot this up. So I'm going to stamp off just the top of the butterfly. So the tops of the wings are now lighter than the bottom part of the wings. And then when you stamp that, can you see the different shade you get? So I thought that was pretty cool. And then I'm going to ink this up again. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do the top of the bottom wings. And then I'm going to try to line this up on camera. That worked out all right. So you can see how I have that 2-tone effect there, which I think is pretty cool. So I'm going to do that again on these little ones. And then we're going to have our butterflies. So there we go. So that's a way to get 2 tones pretty simply. It didn't really require much effort and it was pretty quick. So then you just line up the butterflies in the punch. Get those 2. And then, oops, I need to cut this. Okay. And now I'm going to get these. So I'm going to get that small one. I'm going to line them both up because I can use that other one somewhere else. Okay. So now I have these 2 small ones and the 1 large one. And you can see that when you punch them out, it stamps or it punches out a little spot for the bodies because they do include little body images in the set. But I am not going to use the bodies in my card on my card today. So I'm just going to cut those little body parts off. Pretty simple with my snips. Okay, and the small ones as well. And okay, get those done. Okay, so now we have our 3 butterflies, and I don't need this mat anymore, so I'm going to move it out of the way. Here's my card. So I'm going to end up stacking these butterflies, like 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and then I have a sentiment that I'm also going to use. So let me grab my sentiment. This also comes from the stamp set, and it says, "Hello, beautiful." And so I'm going to stamp that on, where's my scrap here? Oh gosh, I don't know, is that going to fit? Yeah, I guess we'll find out, won't we? So I'm going to stamp my sentiment in black. I might need my foam mat again, we'll see. See, and this is when I think a piece of colored paper is helpful because this is white. My background paper is white, and I have trouble seeing. Actually, I want to do it on this end. My stamp, so let's try that. That looks a little crooked. We're going to try it one more time. See if we can do something this time that's not crooked. Better. Except there's no room to punch the end. So we might have to go with this one. Or actually, we may just try it again. Boy, I tell you. Nope, not going to work. I need a new piece of paper. All right. Hold on here while I quickly cut a piece of paper. This is an inch-long strip, if you guys are wondering. It's an inch wide. Doesn't matter how long because you're going to trim it anyways. But I need some room for my punch to go on the end. Okay, that's much better. So I've got my banner triple punch here. That's going to let me snip off the end of this. You can see if I push it in all the way, it's too far. So if I just back it up just a little bit, perfect. And then I also have, how long is the occasion? The occasions catalog is good through, I believe it's June something or other. Let me grab it here. Angela was just asking a question, and it should say on here somewhere, June 3rd this year. So it goes through June 3rd. So plenty of time to get everything you want. So this is also a 1-inch strip of the Highland Heather. And so I'm going to, oh goodness, that was so crooked. I think my finger moved when I was about ready to put the punch into position. Okay, that one looks much better. So we're going to glue these together. Snip that off. So I have a little bit of the purple sticking off of my banner. Okay, and then that's going to go, don't put the lid on that, Barb, or you're going to have a problem. I know myself too well. So this is going to go somewhere along here. And so I'm just going to add some glue. And then we're just going to set that wherever I think it looks good. About like that. Okay. And I'm going to snip that off. And then we're going to add our butterflies, wrap some ribbon around, and then this card will be done. So if you want, you can add some little butterfly bodies, or I mean antenna, sorry. And I had a stamp somewhere around here that was an antenna. Here it is. So if I kind of figure out where I want to lay my butterfly, where his final resting place is going to be, then I can stamp my antenna, and then I can just add my butterfly with a little bit of glue. And then that should be just perfect, just like that. And there's also a tiny little butterfly antenna in here as well. Where is that? Sure, it's looking right at me. Oh, right there. Like I know it's in there because I've used it before. All right. So then the same thing, you'd put the smaller butterfly on there wherever you want it to land, and then you just kind of move it out of the way. Add your antenna. Down here, we'll do the same thing. It's about like that. And then we can do that too. Add a little glue. There's one. Here's two. So hopefully you learned a couple of tips from this anyway. And then the last thing I wanted to do was to bring in some of that organdy ribbon from the Celebration brochure. And it's got 5 different colors. It actually is the same colors as this gingham paper. So we've got the Highland Heather, the Lemon Lime Twist, Balmy Blue, Grapefruit Grove, and the Daffodil. Oh, whoops, that's blue. Apparently I'm colorblind. I can't tell what's blue and what's purple. All right, so I kind of thought if I just ran this ribbon through the inside of the card and then tied it on the front, that might be a fun little accent. The ribbon is very sheer, so it's nice and delicate. And it is fairly easy to work with, I find. Except when you have a Band-Aid on. I'd like to know what I did to myself. Did anybody happen to see what I did? Stamping injury. Okay, so we'll snip that off like that. That off like that. I'll pull that tight. And then here we have it. So it's all done. And if I wanted to, I could actually move it here on the inside of the black. I don't know which way I like it. I'll have to mess around with that a little bit before I decide what I'm going to do. But anyway, that's our last card. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this Facebook Live. Remember, I'm live every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central, 5 Mountain Time, or Stampin' Up! Time as I like to call it, or 4 Pacific. And you can always order things from me at my blog or in my store, shoppingwithbarb.com. And then remember, please share the video this week because somebody's going to win all these cards next week. I will draw a winner, and then somebody's also going to win those striped treat bags for your orders between now and next week. So if you guys have any questions, leave them down below as comments. I'll run through and see if there's any questions I can answer. These things will be on my blog in the next few days. And thank you again for watching, and I hope you guys have a great night. Bye-bye.